Most resellers are sourcing completely backwards. They're buying things that they think are cool or things that used to sell years ago, or random bolos that they just heard somebody else mention online. Meanwhile, the people making consistent income reselling are the ones that are constantly paying attention to this one thing. And it's what buyers are actively looking for right now. And the good news is that you don't need to be naturally trendy in order to figure this out. You just need a system. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you my actual research plan each month for staying up to date on trends, buyer behavior, factors that increase value, and also bolos inside of brands that you already see all the time. And this is the exact type of research that is going to help you source smarter, not harder. If you're new here, my name is Cayley, and I talk on this channel all about reselling, trends, strategy, and building a business that will actually work long-term. And honestly, one of the biggest differences that I see between struggling resellers and successful resellers is research habits. The successful resellers are students. They're constantly learning about the market. They pay attention constantly, and they never assume that research is a one-time thing, but rather a part of their monthly routine. So let's break down exactly how I do that. The first tool that I use is massively underrated by resellers. It is Google Trends. And no, this is not something that is super complicated. Google Trends is a free public website where you can see what people are actively searching for on Google within a designated period of time. And so essentially you can see what people are heavily searching for all of the sudden, and also how the quantity of those searches change over time. Google Trends can help with lots of things in your reselling business, such as identifying rising aesthetics, seeing seasonal spikes, comparing keywords, catching the trend momentum early, that one's really important, and understanding the specific language that buyers are using to search for specific items. Now, Google Trends can do all of that, but the best use of this tool is learning what is trending before it becomes oversaturated in the resale market. And the most important thing to understand is that just because somebody searches something on Google does not mean that it's going to sell well on the pre-owned market, but it can be a really good lead-in or a really good indicator on what to keep an eye out for. I like to take anything that I see trending on Google Trends that would apply to the resale market, and I would compare that to comp searches on eBay, making sure that the data shown on both Google Trends and eBay comps is trending in the same direction. It makes for a really great bolo that nobody else is going to know about. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see resellers making is waiting till a trend is already oversaturated before they start paying attention and taking advantage of it. And that's why Google Trends is great. And that's also why I'm never worried about thrift stores knowing more than me. By the time they figure out what a trend is, I'm already moved on to the next newest trending thing. I've got 2 more strategies that I'll share with you in this video so that you can stay smarter than your competition and also stay ahead of trends. But if you're someone who this video is resonating with and you want to stay ahead of exactly what buyers are looking for, then I would be crazy to not tell you that we just relaunched Resellers Edge University with newly organized step-by-step courses that blueprint the exact strategies that I'm sharing with you in today's video. By signing up for Resellers Edge Pro, you'll get instant access to all of our course material, access to our weekly live calls, and you'll be able to ask me any questions you have inside of our private Facebook group. We're actually running a very rare sale right now to celebrate our relaunch. You can use the code SELLMORE for the next couple of days to get 50% off of your first month. And if you're somebody who wants more of a step-by-step, search here, click here, search these words, etc., we have all of our strategies laid out inside of Resellers Edge Pro that you can start watching today. And your membership will allow you to start watching our monthly trend reports. Our monthly trend reports are one of our most popular series inside of Resellers Edge University, where we do all of the research for you and tell you what's trending each month with visuals. Basically, I do hours of research for you each month and just give you the parts that matter, like what keywords to use, what factors are trending, etc., so that you know what to look for, but you don't have to spend hours doing it if you don't want to. The code and link to that sale will be in the description if you are ready to stop guessing what's trending and you're ready to start sourcing it. The next thing I pay attention to is indicators of quality. quality. And this is huge because a lot of sellers miss really great brands just because they've never heard of them. With this method, you can identify a brand even if you don't know it. And I consider this like my hands-on research while I'm thrifting or when I'm listing, because it's basically just pattern recognition and paying attention to what all items that are selling have in common. Doing this helps me to identify what factors to look for versus trying to memorize hundreds of brands. Our brains can only remember so much, so instead of trying to memorize tons of bolo brands, you can just memorize indicators of quality instead, but it's something that you will want to keep up with as those indicators of quality, similar to trends, can change over time. One example of an indicator of quality that I've noticed is what the tag looks like. So I've noticed that a lot of brands that sell well have a simple, more tacked on tag with blocked lettering. Another indicator of quality would be where the branding is actually placed on an item, if any at all. And so if you see lots and lots of branding on a specific item, chances are it's worth looking at. There are lots and lots more indicators of quality, and honestly, they can also be different within certain categories, but the most important thing is to pay attention as your stuff sells, as you are touching the items, and to notice what seems to be the same between all of them. From my own experience, the more listings that you create, the more patterns that you'll start noticing, and then you'll realize, oh wow, every time I pick up this type of texture or detail or silhouette, it sells. And that's the kind of awareness that you want to build. Now let's finish with one of my favorite forms of research, which is finding bolos inside of brands that you frequently come across. The reality is that you do not need to find rare luxury brands to make money. There is no such thing as a bad brand, because every brand has hidden bolos within it that have high sell-through rates and have higher ASPs. My goal is always to teach my community how to make reselling easier. And so I like to bet on things that are easy to come across and typically undervalued. And the combination of both of those things, of something that you have tons of access to and that be something that other resellers don't really look for, is a really powerful combination. So here's my actual process for finding bolos in those bad brands. I start by picking one or a few brands of the ones that I'm coming across all the time at thrift stores. I filter to pre-owned, since most of the time I will be picking it up pre-owned. I'll pick a minimum sale price according to my own rules for sourcing. I'm usually picking like 25 or 30 bucks and higher. And then I'm basically just scrolling through and I'm looking for what's selling repeatedly. I'm looking for those repeat patterns, and then I'm going back after I make that list and I'm testing through sell-through rate again for those individual specific items. And I'm not just looking for like, did one sell for a lot? I'm looking for consistency. What is repeatedly selling and what is it that buyers are clearly hunting for? This is how I found out that Under Armour, which is one of the brands I frequently come across, has compression shirts that pre-owned sell consistently for $50 plus. I do this every single month, and I just pick a few brands that either I have never done the research for, or it's been a while since I've done the research for them, because things can change. So I want you to imagine your thrift store. And I think most of us could say this, but if about 80% of the thrift store is all the same brands, like 20 brands, if you pick just a couple of those brands to deep dive every single month, then you'd basically have 80% of the thrift store covered by the end of the year, because you know exactly what to get and what to skip. And knowing what to skip is also powerful because it's going to help you to save more time while you're sourcing. So those are the three main things that I do to stay ahead. I really want you guys to remember that markets evolve constantly, buyer preferences evolve constantly. So this isn't really something that you can just do once and be solid. This is something that you want to build into a weekly or a monthly routine. And the resellers who adapt faster to these changes and these trends are the ones who make the most money. Research changes everything because it improves your sourcing decisions, pricing confidence, listing quality, inventory turnover, and your overall efficiency. Instead of just hoping that something will sell, you start making informed decisions. And over time, that compounds massively. So a lot of resellers think that successful sellers are just lucky. But honestly, most of the time, they're just paying closer attention. If you want to become a stronger reseller, one of the best habits that you can build is that consistent observation observation. Pay attention to trends, to your buyers, to different aesthetics, to materials, to silhouettes, and what repeatedly sells. That awareness is where so much growth happens. And if this video helped you, make sure to subscribe down below because I make content all about building a smarter business. And if you want trends hand delivered to you, also don't forget about the sale we're running inside of Reseller's Edge for the next couple of days. Thanks so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.